Light. Happy Sunday. Well, let's begin by greeting our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chunjian Chambuonamge Hyungbae. Otto. Next, we'll have our family pledge. We'll invite Pastor Milhan Stevens.
가정 맹세 1. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과皇족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 자녀극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 자녀극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. For our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Reverend Sebastian Raymer, if you could please unmute and pray for us.
현진 참부모님께 안녕하십니까? 여러분 안녕하십니까? Shiavasete Nadandaro, Heavenly Parent. Thank you so much. I can feel that you're really happy looking at the family, the Stevens family, with Reverend Milhan sleeping up in the bunk bed, looking at his family who took over his bed. It's so beautiful. I can see, Heavenly Parent, how you must be so happy with each one of my brothers and sisters and their families, no matter what we are in, what state we're in. But this is such a great time, Heavenly Parent, that you're giving us. This is a time of hope. We're reading about the day of hope, but now this is a time of hope because we have true parents, and you have given us true parents. You have given us the parents that make it possible for us to really understand our place in the scheme of things as brothers and sisters, as children, as sons and daughters, as brothers and sisters, as husbands and wives, as parents, as grandparents at some point, and some of us, making it very clear what each one of their roles is. Heavenly Parent, we haven't had that for the whole of history. We did not know. And it makes you clearly our Heavenly Parent. because you have inspired all that. You have inspired all those saints and sages and prophets in the past. You have inspired all those amazing people that gave their lives for this time to bring about your son Jesus. And now he held on for 2,000 years to bring us two parents. So grateful, Heavenly Parent, for the community here in which we are able to see the young people really carrying your heart, no matter where they're at. They cannot help themselves but think about the world and how they can improve it. And it's in gratitude as we come together here this morning. In the name of Sebastian, Matthew, and Katie, who are my blessed and the family, adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Reverend Sebastian. Nice to see you. All right, brothers and sisters, let's take a few minutes to share our gratitudes and appreciation in our breakout rooms. See you back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Ayako-san, can I ask you to share?
What I share to you?
Anything you like, anything you like.
Oh, yes, I share that I'm very honored. I feel really amazing that Reverend Milhan and then Catherine came up. Actually, I feel Catherine, I'm very grateful that she became my MC. Actually, really. So I like the female flavor.
Thank you.
And you are always there, face is bright, smiling face, and you have no wrinkle on your face. Beautiful. I always think. Plus, what I said was I found a good dentist after many years of suffering and I went through so much with the dentist, with the insurance and tried to do this way, that way, but now I finally found the Korean lady or dentist. She's really good. So already our friends of my daughter, our daughter-in-law, went to the dentist also. Not because I'm promoting, but so I naturally can come out from my mouth. So I'm very grateful for that.
I'm happy for you. Dentist is really important. Our teeth are really important. So thank you, Ayako-san.
Thank you.
Okay, brothers and sisters, now for our Godable reading, Pastor Milhan Stevens.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy for you. And, health insurance and, these, and health and dental care is, it's a part of the kingdom of heaven on earth. We need to experience heaven on earth, not just in heaven, spiritual world. So gotta take good care of our health to live as we should. Let's enjoy our Godable reading today.
Welcome to Godable, a daily reading of holy texts known in the Unificationist community as Hundoke. Today we are reading from the Champumogyong.
Champumogyong, Book 6. The World Tours and the Global Mission. Chapter 2, Section 4, Paragraph 13. I've been working all along to move the Japanese government and also to create an atmosphere in which to form a new realm of civilization for the government and people of the United States. Korea cannot survive by itself. Even if the 34 million Korean people unite as one to overthrow the communists in North Korea, they would not be able to overcome communist China and the Soviet Union. Communism emerged with the form of a religion, but of the devil, not of God. The world has to unite as one nation within a cultural realm centered on the religion of God, and then subjugate communism. Otherwise, it has no hope. Now is the moment when the members of the Unification Church need to unite as one and step forward as representatives of Korea and its people and as representatives of the religion of God in the democratic world. Unification Church members in Korea should never forget that through this world rally for Korean freedom, they need to foster a new spiritual attitude and new pride in the world. To carry out this work, Unification Church members from around the world have gathered together to work with Korean members. They need to unite as one here through the rally at Yoido Plaza, so that they can unfurl the victorious banner of unification thought, which is unique, unprecedented in history, and based on God's will. On that day of victory, God will bring the culmination of global civilization, based on a providence that has passed through the Mediterranean region, beginning on the Nile River, moved through Rome to Britain, formed a continental civilization in the United States, and transitioned to the Pacific Rim. Yoido Plaza is a historic venue, so the World Rally for Korean Freedom stands in the position to receive God's historic, unbiased judgment. It will be determined whether or not the Unification Church is an organization that stands on God's side in world history and is truly able to save the peoples of the world. Through this World Rally for Korean Freedom, Unification Church families need to show whether they have the leadership capability to guide and represent the people based on families and whether the Unification Church members can demonstrate leadership when dealing with this nation's people. This event, then, is a good opportunity to receive heaven's unbiased judgment. Not only that, this is also a time for establishing our authority by receiving the world's unbiased judgment for cleansing all the historical sorrows and resentments of this people, and for receiving benefits and blessings in return for the hardships endured for the public. That is why this is a very serious moment. Many people will gather at the World Rally for Korean Freedom. In addition, billions of people in the spirit world also will attend. Each of you should have the resolution to represent 10,000 people, which means that the citizens of the 60 nations you represent are gathered here. Can you imagine how closely your ancestors and others in the spirit world who have been mobilized are paying attention? You should rid yourself of the sentiment that I am French or I am German. You need to feel you are transcending your native people, otherwise your affection for your country can impede your work for God. You should feel proud that you are each participating in this rally as a representative of 60 nations. On June 7, 1975, there was a major confrontation between other churches and the Unification Church at the Yoido World Rally for Korean Freedom, centered on the international One World Crusade. This international team consisted of young people who are participating in the restoration of God's fatherland. There was confrontation with opposing churches as well as other opposing powers. It was clearly a time of restoration through indemnity. Now that we have established the family foundation, we need to win the nation. That is why you need to become one with the government, making true parents your focus. We as a movement need to become one with the government and move everyone. In the national domain, other churches collided with the Unification Church in the 4 cities of Busan, Daegu, Daejeon, and Seoul. I confronted them asking, "We are now holding revival meetings with international support, so why are you opposing us?" In response, their members had no choice but to raise their hands and surrender. On this foundation, over 1.2 million people came together. At that time, even the Korean government was surprised. People from 60 nations came and proclaimed, "When you invade the motherland of our faith, we will defend it." Substantially, we stand in a leadership position, both spiritually and practically, in relation to the nation. When you received military training, you received it with the idea that you would use it to serve the Republic of Korea, but now this is no longer the case. From now on, you need to witness to people in order to form a volunteer corps. You need to mobilize police chiefs, heads of townships, and county magistrates to participate in a volunteer corps, educating them in different ways. From now on, you should determine to form a volunteer corps and lead thousands of people who can mobilize on behalf of townships or counties in case of emergency. I am giving you this direction to create an international volunteer corps at this urgent time because it is necessary to cultivate the foundation of leadership in case of emergencies. We should bring together Christians and all religious believers in association with the Unification Church and invite them to form a volunteer corps. Invite the police chiefs and county magistrates, explaining to them, "This is not for the Unification Church. You maintain the real authority, and we will carry out the internal training. Further, we will provide even the top officials with spiritual armament. The time to do this has arrived." Part of the reason Jesus died on the cross is that he came into conflict with others from the second year of his 3-year public ministry. From the middle of the second year of a 3-year providential course, we are overcoming the reversals Jesus suffered during his second year of public life. The 3 years of 1975, 1976, and 1977 are a time for connecting a physical victory to our worldwide spiritual victory. We established the conditions for spiritual and physical victory, defending the national standard through the World Rally for Korean Freedom held at the Yoido Plaza in Seoul. Because of these victorious conditions, people might oppose us, but they cannot drive us out. I am well aware that they cannot be victorious no matter how much they strike us, and that is why I am fighting against them courageously, with absolute principled authority. Because the time has come for the Republic of Korea to inherit world fortune, it should not oppose us. Because the time has come for us to take action as a people, I was finally able to bring youth from around the world here in 1975. Together with Korean youth, I hosted these historically unprecedented nationwide events, the Day of Hope rallies. A providential wind brought many people to these events without their conscious decision. The 1975 Day of Hope rallies set a historic record that no religious gathering can break. I connected that success to everything else as the basis for national victory. The nation and the world were unable to connect to Jesus in spirit and flesh during his lifetime, so that connection needs to be completed in 1975. Based on this providential understanding, True Parents began full-scale work in the United States in 1972. In terms of its spiritual standard, the Unification Church of Korea stands in a higher position than the nation and in a leadership position. The 3-year strategy in the United States was for the Unification Church to become a religion that attracts everyone's attention, despite being at the center of a commotion and despite Christian opposition. Moreover, it was to connect its national-level spiritual victory to Christianity on the world level. Not until I had connected my victorious foundation to the world in 1975 could I come to Korea and fight the battle to determine the standard of victory, both spiritually and physically. This was the World Rally for Korean Freedom held at Yoido Plaza.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Godable.
Thank you again, parents. Wow, this was surprisingly short and Godable today. And, I'm sure many of you, maybe some of you actually traveled to Korea and participated in that mobilization for the 1.2 million attendees, that sea of people in Korea for that rally. I know that it definitely stood on the foundation of our victory here in the US. And I think that provides a formula course for any movement in Korea starts with a victory here in the US. So yes, we are all a part of that. Congratulations. The take that I had on this was settlement. And this has been a theme for a long time. I would say, we've heard many speeches about settlement era, and even back in the 1970s, we're talking about kind of a shift of, there's like this shift from soldiers to settlers. We're battling Satan, and in some cases, even going into war against Satan's armies. There's also spiritual warfare and all kinds of things in that nature, and fighting and things that are not ideal but had to be done at a particular time in a restoration period. But we need to transition into harmonious peace, freedom, family, this sort of thing. So I'm looking for that in this speech, because that is the theme of my sermon today and Sunday. So forgive me if I'm a little bit biased here. But let's just go through it. So I highlighted this: communism emerged with the form of a religion, but of the devil, not God. I have an interesting take on communism. It is really an archangelic kingdom of heaven, where everyone operates based on law and order, not based on love and freedom. Communism does solve a lot of problems in society. Well, if in theory, if we were all angels that follow hierarchies, then yes. But actually, it's honestly, it removes the freedom and responsibility of individuals. So it doesn't work. No matter what people, sometimes our church members get confused, like, oh, communism is an ideal society. Actually, it's not. Communism is a headless, there's no ownership, there's no owners of general good in communism. It's a very, it just tries to cut the head off of God, or in your head, trying to lead any group of people. So really it is, now they does say, ideal socialism is something that the divine principle talks about. And this is kind of models of family, because I think we know families are not democracies. So we don't take a vote on things. The parents are in charge, but it's based on love. It's based on who has the greatest love, who has the greatest vision. That's what leads. So I just put this here because we have to understand that, we're looking we're not, communism is the problem with communism is that it doesn't have God. So we need to protect ourselves from new ideologies, okay? New ideas and forms of government and structures that don't include God at the top. So that's really what we're looking for today to combat and counter. Okay. Like this transgenderism stuff. Okay, can you imagine how closely your ancestors and others in the spirit world who have been mobilized are paying attention? So this is, you know, we have to continue to seek the answers. You know, we need to keep asking questions. You know, I often give advice to young people. You know, you might read a good book and it gave you really great advice for that time. But sometimes you take that advice and you run it too far. And you end up finding yourself in a place you didn't want to be. It was because it was good advice at that time, but it's not good advice for you today. So, you know, this is why we need to understand, you know, heaven is right there with us, but we have to seek and continually to renew our faith. We need to even ask some of the same questions we used to ask. It's a very healthy process because the providence moves, and you know, the guidance might be a little bit different. So we need to trust that heaven is there and ready to advise us. And sometimes, you know, we listen to heaven and we may not even agree. So we also have to reconcile those things too, because we are mediators after all. So yes, let's seek heaven's support always, because they're focused on us. You know, just like, sorry, you might think, why is heaven so fixated on us? You know, why is spirit world and our ancestors always, you know, interested in us? Well, it's the same reason, like when you have a child in your house, do you not put all of your attention there? I mean, when you have a baby, the baby becomes the center of everyone's attention because they're the future, and they're the one that they need help. They need the most help. So we're the ones who need the most help. Let's face it. And we also are the future. So of course, spirit world is wanting to pay attention to everything we do. Okay, this was a long one. There was confrontation with opposing churches as well as other opposing powers. It was clearly a time of restoration of identity. Now that we have established the family foundation, we need to win the nation. That is why we need to become one with the government, making true parents your focus. So I put this here because this is where we came. You know, this is there is conflict, there is confrontation, there is a spiritual warfare, there's battles going on, and we need to win. That, at least at that time, mostly, but we need to win over Canaan, if you will. Okay, you have New York City, the land of milk and honey. You know, there are all kinds of powers and political warfare going on. But we need to come in and win over them through love, through showing them a level of unity that they've not seen before. So that's how we're going to win. That's our strategy, if you will, to win over New York, is you know, through that love and showing the example that we can unite beyond race, background, you know, ethnicity. So we'll show them, you know, within our own community, what a heavenly New York looks like. Okay. And that kind of leads into this part here. You know, when I was talking about transitioning from soldier to settler, right? We're winning our freedom, but now we have to settle down and experience our freedom, right? You know, create a society that is actually free, where people can, you know, multiply their families and have all the fun and hobby world that they want. So have our cake and eat it, right? Now this time we were in battle. We were witnessing, putting a volunteer corps. So we're talking about like it's almost very military terms here. And even Father was saying, when you receive, he's talking to Korean people, when you receive military training, you received it with the idea that you would use it to serve the Republic of Korea. So, Father is like having to retrain these Korean men, because who had military training, by the way. If you're a citizen of Korea, you have to serve in the military, get that training. And even after you've been trained, you have to get refresher trainings and all that. So Father's talking to people who've had military training, but Father's like, okay, I know you have this military training, but we need to use it to witness. We need to use it to, for more constructive and winning people for God. And they're talking about internal training and spiritual armament. So all these military terms and metaphors. Now, I feel like True Mother is now trying to help us to transition. Okay, we're no longer, yes, we have this military training, we have this witnessing training. Now we need to use it to raise families and to take care of our youth. And with that level of vigor and taking responsibility and precision and perfection. So it's kind of we see this transition taking place. Even back then, we still had to retrain from killing people to, maybe killing people with kindness and love, winning over their hearts and souls. So yeah, I feel for Father at that time. So yes, that is my reflection for today. Looking forward to hearing from each of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor Milhan. Okay, everyone, let's take a break for our reflections. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh, that's right. I gotta set this one up. Are these different ones? Okay, recreate. We want. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back. Let's begin our 7 minutes unison prayer. Shija, most beloved Heavenly Parent.
Wait, what about our representative prayer?
Oh, sorry.
Also, it's good to have a reflection too. I like to hear a reflection.
Oh, sorry, I messed up. Samsung, could you share with us?
Oh, Samsung's here.
I think you probably have to unmute.
Yes, good morning. I'm out of state, but we have a state of a battle, live free or die. So Juanita was, we got the fight. So I really feel we have to keep fight. But what we fight for was protection of our fatherland. Korea is the important part of the world. Heavenly Shinjon culture is there and remain, and how we can really inherit, not just inherit, but protection over North Korea. I mean, Korean Peninsula is so important. And what we fight for is really spirit. Battle spirit is always here and there, but we have to know what to fight for. And in 1975, that father established that rally, international rallies for whole world have to focus on how important it is for. That's what we are fighting for. Theory is communism. They know how to accuse other people, but having Shinjon culture in Korea is different. We really how we can inherit is, that's why we are here. But we have to know how important and how we can really fight back to protection of Korean Peninsula, where years of Shinjon culture hasn't been cultivated. So we still have a hope and grateful, you know, and so yes, we are battling, but we have to know what we fight for. That was what the father want to say. Is 1975 Yoido rally, I guess. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samsung. Now for our closing prayer, can I ask Mimi-san? Mimi-san, can you please pray for us today?
Yes,
Thank you.
let's pray. Dearest Heavenly Parent, thank you very much. True Parent, thank you very much. True Mother, continuously working for God and for us. Heavenly Parent, we so grateful to True Mother. We really want to unite with True Mother's heart. Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful. The centering Reverend Damian Dunkling had the leaders meeting in Heavenly Parent. We really want to unite with the central figure, and now we learn today for the really the True Parent investing America, and also the victory of the United States to connect to the Korea, and really this fatherland through the Yoido rally, the big successful success. Heavenly Parent, we so grateful to Parent investing the Korea, Japan, America for the representative father, mother, and son nation and this three nation, the united, if we unite complete together with True Mother, we can really progress the peace on this earth, which Heavenly Parent really dreaming for. Heavenly Parent, thank you very much. You loved each of us so deeply, and you never give up us on us. Heavenly Parent, we really new day today, and especially day of Anshir, the new start of the week. And Heavenly Parent, we pray for the Sunday service today, and with the as a community, we together gather and also the start together. I really grateful for this morning devotion light. We pray together for heaven through parent and all central figures, leaders, and brothers and sisters. We really feel your support, and also our absolute good spirit, ancestors and good spirit. I really thankful to parent made this amazing new days of Chonryul era and the Heavenly Parent Holy Community era. With the new determination, we start today. I offer this with brothers and sisters, a prayer, and we start in some prayer. I offer this through the name of the Haruhiko Mimako Yukawa as Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Aju. Thank you, Mimi-san. Thank you. All right, brothers and sisters, let's begin our 7-minute series in prayer. Shija.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent. Good morning, true parents.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for allowing us to be together. Thank you for each of my brothers and sisters here on the call, for Wilson,
Thank you, Heavenly
for
Parent,
Jean, for Meow,
brother
and Yochong, for Kathleen, for John,
Heavenly
for
Parent,
the Stevens family, for
long life, good health, and we pray for
to
true
live free or die.
trying to overcome
Fireball of
communism at
spirit.
this time.
Thank you for Vera, my sister,
our community,
Ichinori-san, my
the
brother,
world can overcome the
the beautiful
communism.
Margaret
Can
family,
sign up.
the Howler family, Father,
Can
for
overcome the
Jörg and Jakob-san, for Mimi,
Heavenly
for
Parent.
Henry,
We
for
know that
Dace,
communism
and
is
the
very
leadership of the Flushing Church and the Queen's
very
Church.
strong around the world.
Thank you for Michelle Lutz, and for her husband in the spirit world, Thomas.
We pray for the
Gratitude for
reunification of North and South
for
Korea.
Edna, and for Bonita, and for
Pray
June.
for North and
embrace
Kim Jong-un
this
and
world,
Thank you for
communism.
this
the
planet,
Michael and her
this
family.
mankind.
Korea
Michael
can
Lutz.
really
You are the
unite.
Thank you
Heavenly
for
Father.
Reverend Beryl Green, for Desmond
Your heart
Green,
is
for
so
Joel Green, the Caribbean Ministry.
embrace.
Pray
You love us
for
so much.
the Yomiko-san, Pato,
You want us to do
and
who's
whose love
How we can
is
do this
reaching the United States. Heavenly Parents, I
Heavenly
pray
Parent,
gratitude
to parents.
for our pastor, praying for her
To parents,
well-being and
brought
protection and
Heavenly
safety.
Parent and true parents.
She is a
Pray
fierce
that as we go
lioness.
choose our authority
She's
and
a
adhere to my
woman of heart,
you choose
beautiful, loving heart,
be
Father.
able to
And a
defeat
mother,
communism.
more fierce
We
spirit
can
than
be able
Father.
to defeat them, Heavenly
For
Parent.
Joshua
around the
Gunatowski,
world.
who
Love
says
and
represent
fighting
Mill
for so
Hart in
long.
such a
We must
beautiful
grow.
way, Father.
Yes.
That we can't
must have a
for a moment of
capacity.
peace.
Built with so many abilities and so many qualities.
We pray.
Really
It's
help
very
Mill Hart's
We
ministry,
can
Father. Pray for
fulfill.
It's just thorns.
the Fuji
That we can
Constantly
bring
family, for the
victory,
Privilege
Heavenly
But
family,
without
for the
going,
We
Tomokis
do, God, we
family,
do need
for
to.
the
will
Kongbo
Heavenly
family,
We
for
do need to.
Parents, for the
Hamagishis in
for
Long Island
Bishop,
City,
So we have
for Ukawa, Tokyo
Jesus,
Ukawa
do all
family,
we
we are
can.
proud of you,
for
and
who don't know about you.
Heavenly
the
Parents, we pray.
God,
You are
over
your
Protector
suffering.
for
Christ,
the Chavez
our
family,
elder son,
for
we
Harvin's
can
family, for
Victory.
on a worldwide
truth.
level,
Hall,
Nation
Brain
can be a
Hall
Buddha.
family,
That we
on
can
Rico
save
Valentin,
America.
obstacles,
and
Embrace
but also the
people,
one
Robert,
person
That the
Father,
world
Emmanuel,
so
Father,
background,
the Latino community,
Christian faith
and
has been
George
cultivated
Carriers
years and
especially,
years. Now it's
with
time.
from
Yes, we
Brooklyn,
do have
Father,
to ask ourselves, what
for
are we fighting for?
Grow some time.
Miles family,
But towards
for
war,
the family, Masako-san,
nation
all, and
hate,
her husband, Father,
leadership,
his health, and pray for the iPhone, for
embrace Cold
her
War.
brother, her sister,
Therefore, this is the last
and
opportunity
May, Ray
that through
Balvin,
mother
To go to battle and to
and
do
Father,
everything.
for
organize
Johnny, Dr. Sonnyborn, Father, for
organizations,
Alicia and
To
James,
create
challenge,
I
ministry,
pray for
bigger,
Yabuki, pray
expand
for Keiko White and the White family, Robert,
territories,
Noriko-san, Father,
capacity of heart
each one of my
and
brothers
creating
and sisters,
can
ministries.
embrace.
for Sato,
Here in the
Community.
melting pot,
Spend
Saddingers,
some
for
New
time
York City, all
Carl
kinds of
Vance,
people,
Father, for
all around the
exchange.
world.
the
Who
Take
Komodos,
a look.
for the
What kind of
Robertsons, Father,
family,
and
would you make me
Wandas,
be?
and the Joneses, the
all
Stewarts,
kinds
and the
of people
Capulas
living
here.
here from all
Ask
around the
Pray
world.
forgiveness
for
for
our
not being
top
clear.
Corleys in Long
Melting
Island,
pot.
Father. All our brothers
That
and
can
sisters
be
in this great state,
our
Father.
place to
We pray for the
model
victory for
of the small
Milhan,
war.
Father, and his family. Deliver the sermon
But
today,
we
Father.
have to know how
Pray
to
also for us on the
May our
celebration that
get
we
through
can have
battles
Spirit come
win
down once, Father.
over
The Spirit, Father, to come
hearts.
down
We
to
can
the
fulfill.
Help
Holy
us
Spirit of
again
our true mother.
So
That
Pray
we
this,
can save
Father.
America, that the
We're
world can
grateful
be
for
saved.
each one of my
our
brothers and
professional
sisters
responsibility.
put in
We pray for the
their
poor
Time
soul
as a
every
witnessing
day into the fight.
through Mother
Sharing.
by the
mentioned,
Here
strength that
because
the
of
world
you,
can come
God,
together.
your
embrace that
parents. Here because
beyond
of your word,
Heavenly
Father.
Parent, and
We want to
melting pot.
chew the
What they
word like
do
chewing
People
gum, Father.
looking
Let us chew it well,
all
Father.
how ideal.
Pray for Pastor
countries
Miles,
being
Father.
oppressed by
They come.
Haiti, China, Father.
we pray for
They come
Running
from
Thailand.
now,
the
playing baseball,
love and
Koruta.
guidance.
And
We pray,
I
Heavenly
pray
Parent,
that you bless her, Father, with that spirit that's only
we
comes from
pray,
you.
Heavenly Parent, and Parent, that
Father,
we
pray,
can
Father, we
fulfill.
can be stronger than the religion of communism, Father.
Bring the victory,
First of
Heavenly
all,
Parent,
win over Christianity, Father.
This
Win them
helps our
over.
leadership,
speak up
And then, Father, help
our
our brothers and
cooperate
sisters who are being
ourselves
suffering under
Heavenly
communism.
Parent, we pray
to
for the
bring
world
Liberate them,
substantial
Father.
victory
that
Especially
we
centering on
and Xinjiang
Korea.
culture
Symptoms
to
of,
be prosper
well,
at
thank
this
you so
time.
much, Father, for
we pray, Heavenly
chance
Parent,
for this opportunity to be
for
together
our
with
brothers and
Many
sisters
things
every
must
one of my brothers
overcome
and sisters here today,
from individual to
tomorrow,
family,
and forward,
Parent and
Father.
family
Parent
to
GPA,
community,
Busan,
hear these prayers.
nation, and the
at
world.
Marytown now,
Father,
and the
please
CITs, the
Fulfill
captains in training,
for
leaders
pray
America,
especially
how
for
to win
Daniel,
that America can
Franklin,
fulfill the
Father,
role as elders of
and
nations.
our
for
community, protect our
Lynn,
fatherland.
Pray, Heavenly Parent,
Jin
Parent,
Lee,
pray
and Han,
Inherit
and
your
we can
spiritual
fulfill, that we can bring the
Shin
victory.
Lee,
We thank you for today's
and
service.
all
Heavenly
the
Parent and
leaders,
true
Father,
parent,
Hiroshi
hear
Suzuki
these prayers.
Already
especially,
it's going to
pray
be
for
beautiful.
your hand and heart,
Help us
guide
to
them in the name
fulfill,
of
help us
MFC,
to bring the
bless
victory
their
as we
family,
call America, that the
pray
world
this
can
We
be
can
saved.
make it on the Puerto
each
Rican.
one of our
This
brothers
is
and
the
so
sisters,
important.
leadership especially.
pray,
Damian,
Heavenly
Father,
Parent,
now
and true
Kimi,
parent, that the world can
Neil
be saved
Hahn,
from the
Father, each
to
one of
share
Dr. Young's
They're not
our
well-being
giving
and
up,
heart
they're
and
success,
our
his
fighting.
brother
belief.
in Busan. Pray
Heavenly
this all
Parent and
in
true parent, we
gratitude
pray
We
and
thank
for
Dr.
at
Yon
this
Nicola de
time, Heavenly
Jong,
Parent and true
Father,
parent,
but
for
Father, there is a
all the
way
work that
that
is
we
being
can
done in
to
Great
fulfill,
inherit
Japan,
His
United
spirit
States, and Europe,
that we
Middle
can
East,
bring
and
on
the
His
each one of
victory.
the
battles
continents,
every
Father,
day
Heavenly
each
Parent
for
one
and
of the countries in
941
Africa,
hear
the
years.
Middle
these
East,
prayers.
Your
Father,
ways of
Prayers.
power.
South
Gotcha. Thank you, everyone. Please bring your attention to the chat. And there's a Reverend Milham put a link to the prayer request form, so you can all update your prayer requests. So thank you, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope you all have a great day.
Happy Sunday.
Good night.
Have a good day.
Love you.